Hello there and welcome. I'm Kate, and yes, I'm in my nest, but have been away today, and so this is a little share of some treasures that I've been collecting. Not all today at all, but fresh from a visit to my mum and lunch with one of my sons. I'm feeling so blessed and so grateful that I thought I would share um, these with you and hopefully um, um, give you some joy as well, because that's what friends do. We share. So, how are you today? Is it feeling like the change of seasons, like here? Although I did get shocked. It was like spring yesterday and I had a t-shirt on, and then I left early to drive to Sydney this morning, only to find that it was freezing and windy and cold there. So we're in the last week of August, but yeah, we will soon, I'm sure, be changing. Okay, so I have some little treasures there, but I thought I'd share. So I think I've got one, two. In fact, I can't really remember. I know what I got today from the sewing basket in Sydney. And then I have a collection of marketplace treasures and another local shop near where I live. So welcome. Here we go. From marketplace. Oh my gosh. These collars have been tea dyed. So Battenberg lace. But what really attracted me was this beading. So the combination of these motifs and the beading and the trim just had me oohing and ahhing. I was only going to buy one, and then the lovely lady said, well, I've actually got two and I'll do a deal for you. So this is oh, and look, I'm half tempted to wear it, you know. We will see. But it's got a pearl button. And that reminds me of Kelly McCrens, whose dog is Pearl Button. I think that's right. I've just realised that as I've said that. So here we go. All the way around the back and round and round. So as a piece of absolute treasure, I am adoring that. And just think of wearing that in the day. So I don't know when it was tea dyed. It's a bit mottly, but I do like every bit of it. And even, in fact, look at that marking. So this will go on some, well, I don't know where it will go. I won't say where it's going to go because it may not. So there's the big one. And here is the smaller one. So obviously, let's spot the difference. Okay, I was going to say obviously by the same maker, but I don't know. Maybe these been adorned afterwards, but with Kate's bowerbird instinct, there was everything there that attracted me. And I noticed this one's got sequins for flowers, whereas this one has spokes. So that's it. I keep standing up and sitting down. I don't know why, but I suppose I'm just thrilled, and I wanted you to share that. So very much a difference in the lace as well. So love, 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 love. You know, one of those would start a piece of art off. So 2 collars. Now, could be a drum roll. I never know what I say in the nest for a treasure that jumped into my hands. Okay, I'm going to show you this beautiful work on the doily. I shan't, because my glasses aren't good enough, try and say what these stitches are, but Are they some bullions to make the pink flowers? You'll be able to, maybe they are. Isn't that beautiful work? So there's this bunch of flowers leading to these little pansies, leading to these blue flowers, and here's the ta-da. What do you think this is a hint of? 2 black swans swimming on the water. And you know what I love about this is I can see in detail. I've never embroidered a swan, but I like seeing how this has been done and the use of satin stitch. It's in, can't remember what that thread is called. A DMC, I think. And this for the water. Now this is quite unusual colorings going together, but I just thought could not resist that. This particular shop that I go to has beautiful doilies. She's been a collector all her life, I think, and gradually sharing it with others. Always beautifully laundered and beautiful linen. So that's my 2 swans swimming. This piece is rather unusual. So we're at the same shop. And I just loved the stitching on this. And look how many little nuggets of blossoms there are. So again, just beautiful work on beautiful linen, and an unusual choice of, well, unusual shape, I suppose, because it's probably more a placematty, and yeah, just a decorative contrast trim. Are you seeing why I'm happy? Already, I'm blessed. I'm on, yes, I'm collecting for my workshops. So I came across these beautiful, there's a few, do they call them sandwich tray? Each one completely different, each one glorious. And I have a little collection of these going now. And I just loved the use of purple and mauve in there. This one, I think I've got a similar one, or on a round piece, but I really, that makes me very happy, that piece. And it, you know, is it unusual, this colouring? It's certainly not linen, so I noticed that, but the crochet border is beautiful, but the work on those flowers, glorious. So that's 2 of those. This one, different again. I think maybe people liked doing these because they were small and you got maximum impact. Yet if you had your sandwiches, would you just go in there? I don't know. I mean, my new little, this was from the same shop. It would sit beautifully there. Or my Missy teacup, what's in there today? Look at that. I could have a little tea party in my nest. I'll put some gold thread in there. And oh, Suffolk puff. Just to keep that safe there. Okay, so beautiful stitches and this curve. And probably you would think unusual for me, but I loved the power of this blue, and I love the cross stitch. So we always learn when we collect, don't we, that about different ways of doing things, and there were 2 of these. So in terms of harvesting, making pieces, that's a ready-made feature on a pouch. Haven't got a bit of blanket here, but you know what I'm talking about. So keeping it whole. And so we have, I won't guess what the fruits are because that could be embarrassing. So 2 exactly the same of those. Now this piece, I certainly have another one of these, if not 2 or 3, and I may have used one of these on the Betty. Speaking of which, I saw my mum today. We had a little chat about the nest and all my friends and this world. And she, in fact, when I arrived, she was at the machine. And she stopped sewing, and I said, "What's that noise?" And she said, "Oh, that's the embroidery machine in my room." So she had two machines making at 10:30 in the morning, and she'd already been going for an hour or so. So that's what you do when you're 93. So beautiful little piece. This one, again, on a different type of backing, just very beautiful little flowers. So sandwich ones, so small pieces, and then larger pieces. This one. These really are getting rarer and rarer. And I note now on these flowers that back in the day, you would have to have changed your cotton to get this variegated effect, whereas now we are so lucky that we can get all our colours without having to think about them. So mauve and apricot and yellow, and repeated down here. And I love the leaf work as well, because there's variation. Satin stitch up here, and then like short and long around the side. So I always hope by sharing these that you feel that same admiration that I do for the other hands that have made each of these. And I think about, when I think about the time, the love, what they were doing as they were stitching. So a few more. This one I adore, because you know me, hearts and flowers. Look at that. Just a standalone heart, and how powerful is that? So these beautiful flowers, and then the ribbon with a tiny little posy there and one at the end. And that's the feature. Oh, I forgot about those little flowers over there. But is that not so sweet? And it also gives ideas on composition, because I actually think the heart itself is done in unusual stitching and colours. And again, 3 different threads. And then that flower in the side and the little daisies, I'll call them that, blue, maybe. But love that. So, as I always say, from my heart to yours, that is our heart for the day. This piece, similarly a large one, look at all the work on that. Now we're paying more money here now for these, and I actually think these were very fairly priced, and I think when you look at the amount of work on this, still nowhere near. And look at the neatness of this black stitching. Perfect. Every stitch is identical. And all those little posies, and a very interesting center. I'll just hold that up. Hopefully you'll see that. But yeah, beautiful work. So now that I'm more stitchy in my understanding, I like to look and analyze. Now, 2 beautiful pieces. This one first, because I think this is the big relative. I should have kept them together, but I actually didn't realize of those, I'd say. Is it a Duchess set that would be called? So look at those all together. And this beautiful shape. Little did the person know, probably making this, that they were going to be treasured and oohed and ahed at by literally thousands of people. well, I'm being optimistic that, you know, one day that many people may see this. And look at the edging. They're all completely different. Very shell-like. Okay, so that's gorgeous. And then this is the final one from that place. And there you go. Kiki and I were talking the other day about me not loving blue, and I said it's not that I don't love blue, I just can't work with it yet easily by itself. But that is an absolute inspiration. So that inspires me. Have you done something like that? And this is called anything different to cross stitch, because I love the texture, actually, that you've got the pale cross stitch, then you've got the outlines, then you've got little things. Like, it very much is mark making. So I'm just going to devour that with my eyes, and that will be propped up on my nest as inspiration on how to use combinations of stitches. Really beautiful. So there we go. So that was Marketplace, and just, in fact, let's which one's a garden? Let's use this one as a little bit of a backdropping. The lady that I bought the collars for, I actually found because of this. It's a beetle. And I've actually been really inspired to look at beetles and insects more because I'm watching our new YouTuber, Colette, from CC Davis Studios. I'll link her below. And I'm thrilled that Colette's coming to, I'm going to meet her to one of my workshops in Melbourne. She makes insects and beetles out of beads. So I'm watching a little bit at a time on how she beads, but it was like I was wanting insects for my treasures, and you know that I use a lot of them on my purses and other bits. I still haven't finished this one. Oh, green beetle is not the right colour for that one, but anyway, was attracted to green. So once I started, the lovely lady said, well, you'll get a discount if you buy more than one. So there's that one. Let's just check that. Oh, let's bring you up. Sorry. I want you to share in the miniature of my garden. And she asked me, I told her what I did, and she said, oh, I can imagine all these in your garden. Are you going to put them in your stitching? And I said, I don't know where they'll end up, but I needed that one too. And so some are vintage, some are fairly new, but the more you have together, the better it feels. So last one. I describe that as, can you give me a price on the one that is sort of like a ladybird? And it's got pink dots. So I'm going to go really close. Wouldn't that make a nice screensaver? Insects in the garden. Okay, I'll go out. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy, because I've got to come back to some bigger things. And then she said, seeing Kate, this is what happens to me, everyone. Does this ever happen to you? I love a bug. And she said, seeing you're getting those, have a look at my other vintage listings. And these are, I think, my favorite. These are vintage earrings. And guess what's on them? A bird. I almost want to say it's a swan, but I don't think it is. but genuine vintage. And this bit can be separated from this bit. So there's 2 of those. And that's my treasures and trinkets from Marketplace. Truly, that just gives me so much joy. I'm the sort of person now that will play around with the design and will suddenly start using this as a pouch, but I won't. Okay, I'm going to put those in my little Country Oppie shopping basket that I got last year. You might remember if you're watching, and stay tuned because we're off again in September. Okay, so change of pace now. Today I went to the sewing basket and I went to the one in, it's called Newington in Sydney. It's near the Olympic Centre at Homebush. There's also one at Balmain. I rewarded myself today. I'll just share with you if you know. So, you know, we're all getting to know each other well. I had to go to dentist. So I went and saw my mum and took her for coffee first, and then went to the dentist, and then had lunch with my son, who lives very close, and then I rewarded myself with the sewing basket on the way home. So I picked up some Pearl threads, very reasonable, as many people have shared the sewing basket. But what I was looking for especially is any doilies, and they didn't have any, but they did have this piece. And I think because I've just got my collar, I loved that this was soft and white and crunkled. So that, and can you see where I'm going? It's like a, yeah, like a, they were talking to me, and this one as well. We've all got lots and lots of Battenberg, or maybe we don't, but I've got a collection, but they're on bigger tablecloths. And these ones, I actually will harvest these corners to use as medallions on pieces of collage in my workshops. So just beautiful. And it's so soft, or, you know, truly worn. Okay, so that's that set. So I started off with why did I buy that? I think I just like the sunny yellow. So that's those. Gosh, I feel like there's not much to go, but what there is to go is very, very large. So get ready. It amazes me that so many people must start work and stop. This, my friends, is beautiful tapestry that you can see. Look at the needlepoint that has been done already. And down here, all these tiny ones. These ones not quite finished. These ones just the center, and just there's that whole flower, and then there's one on the back that hasn't been started, and then there are ones on the side. So lots of potential. I could embroider them myself. I can put them on as individual flowers on another collage. But look at that. And that's ended up, would that have been for a chair? Actually, I'm thinking, would that have been for a chair? Because there could have been, I don't know about this world, but I'm just thinking it's big enough to sit on. But I was thrilled with that. And it's, as I said, I don't find them like that in the oh, is that not the most beautiful floral? There you are. I'll just frame it for you to enjoy. So that was hanging up. Oh, that's my little cup with a whole lot of other ones. So it felt to me like it was a sewing basket gift of tapestries. They had more tapestries than I've ever seen and not a single doily. So that's why we keep going back. I've bought this tapestry done off Gladdy and Flow, and here this one has got one birdie, two birdies, half a birdie, lots of strings, and then no birdie. So still just so beautiful to use in our pieces. Willy wagtails, I'd say, and yeah, hand printed in Australia. So that one, I'm going to stay standing up because I just grabbed them. I haven't actually unfolded this one. Look at that. Now this one, oh yeah, look at it. It's all been done on the back, beautifully ends in, and it's been long stitched. Now, someone might be able to tell me, would the person then have intended to go back over the top, or is that finished? You may know more than me, but that is a circlet of flowers like that. See, we can all go gardening in places where we least expect it. So that's that. And the final piece, and these have been in no order, and I just get the feeling that this could have been all from the same person. This is absolutely massive, and the tapestry feels so beautifully soft, and I can't even get that all in screen now, but look at that for floral design. Not my colors, but gee, it can turn in to my colors, and it's probably your colors. But I am intrigued, because is there a next step that was given up on this one? So there's that, and then that little bit, and then another, the duplication on the side. So I am absolutely thrilled with my collection of tapestries. They're new in that they're not in frames, and they have found their way to a completely new garden today. So always blessed, and I just love, my husband isn't home tonight, and I hope that's been okay for me to jump on board and show you a few of my treasures. I'm trying to make my nest look neater to finish off. And so when I've had my dinner, I can come down and have a play again with you. Sorry about the shakes. So there we go. Happy, I nearly said Thursday, it was only Wednesday. Happy midweek. You'll see me, what's that again? Oh, that's a little bit of work. You'll see me again soon. And in the meantime, take care. Go look at your treasures, and yeah, hope they make you smile like mine do. Bye.